The following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting at Western Illinois University.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
Today on Good Morning Macomb, how much higher will tuition costs go? Ahead, the plans the trustees have for their meeting this Friday.
Disney movie fanatics hit the box office once again for a reboot of the 1950 classic. News 3 heads to theaters to see which princess got herself a whole new makeover.
And later in the show, a veteran political observer sits down with us to discuss the current state of Illinois politics, including the future of the Aaron Schock situation. Good Morning Macomb, I'm Dave Mitchell.
And I'm Sarah Despain. Our lead story this morning, City Council is in the process of planning the 2015-16 fiscal budget.
News 3's Shanae Glasgow joins us in studio to talk about an issue creating uproar for some residents. Shanae?
Thanks, Dave. Sarah. The upcoming year's budget has been on the council's agenda for several weeks now, with one particular topic causing some questions among those in attendance.
City budget is $32.12 million for next year.
At Monday night's City Council meeting, members discussed the increase of utility rates. But due to the Environmental Protection Agency, also known as the EPA, the city has their hands tied on how they would increase those rates.
Why can't we take that amount that we want to raise over rather than the customers, a rate that's what the usage is?
The main concern of the public is to use a percentage increase instead of a flat rate increase of $4 a month.
They looked at our financial records of the recent years, and they said, we're not happy with just a rate increase here. You're going to have to show us you can actually raise the money you need to repay us.
When the EPA insisted, did they insist the full amount be raised by a flat rate?
The answer to that, according to City Administrator Dean Torreson, is yes. Torreson says the EPA has looked at the city's financial standings in recent years, and they are not happy with just a flat rate increase.
So why is the EPA doing a flat rate instead of a percentage?
Well, Sarah, the Illinois EPA wants Macomb to charge a flat rate addition to ensure the city can pay back previous loans to the agency. The EPA has issued loans to Macomb for capital improvements to both the water plant and the South Water Tower.
Thanks, Shanae.
The city of Macomb has started its complimentary yard waste pickup. Macomb residents can now place yard waste for pickup without needing a sticker. The Public Works Department asked that the bushes and branches be cut to a minimum of 4 feet and not weigh more than 50 pounds. Also, any bundles tied together with wire will not be collected. No sticker required pickup will continue until Thursday, April 30th. For more information, contact the Macomb Public Works Department.
The WIU Board of Trustees will discuss an increase in the university's cost guarantee for future students. The board will consider a nearly 2% increase for undergraduates and a similar increase for graduate students. This increase includes tuition, fees, and room and board. The meeting will be held in the University Capitol Room on Friday, March 27th. The closed session meeting will start at 8 a.m. and that is followed by the open meeting at 9 a.m. just after the executive session.
The local animal shelter now has over 260 pounds of cat and dog food thanks to a good cause. In just 2.5 hours, Kisses for Rocky became a success by raising money for the McDonough County Animal Shelter. Students were able to pay $1 to take a picture with Rocky and donate a dog bone to the shelter. The event was held by the University Resident Assistance Council in early February.
A bright change has come to campus. Yellow bike lanes have been painted across the sidewalks. The university did the work while students were gone over spring break. With easier ways for bikers to get around in the coming warm weather, you can expect to see more students going for a ride.
The northwest entrance to the University Union will be closed tomorrow for patio construction. Western Illinois University Facilities Management staff says the ramp and patio will be closed for 2 to 3 months. The Union Plaza entrance and all of its services will continue in the Union during the construction.
And WIU will be having an Easter egg hunt for the campus community. The event is co-sponsored by the Veterans Club, Graduate and Family Housing, and WIU's Oasis. The egg hunt will be held on the East Village's front lawn from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. this Sunday on March 29th. There will be an Easter bunny for picture taking, a potluck, prizes, Easter basket giveaways, and more fun. So for more information, head over to the WIU webpage for events.
And it's still a little chilly outside, so movie indoors might be an activity for your free time plans.
News 3's Annalise Zuniga gives us a review on a recent remake of a Disney classic.
Cinderella is a classic tale we have all heard of before in many different forms. We've seen it as a classic Walt Disney animation, in Rodgers and Hammerstein adapted musicals, as well as loosely based Disney Channel movies. This time around, Disney played with a live-action adaptation that was a #1 box office hit for almost a week. Here is a quick peek.
Cinderwench. Dirty Ella. Cinderella.
Are you all right, miss? What did he call you?
Never mind what they call me.
I'm sorry.
It's not your doing.
Nor yours either, I'll bet. I hope to see you again, miss.
And are you?
Ella, you have more kindness in your little finger than most people possess in their whole body.
It was my mother's old dress.
It would be an insult to take you to the palace dressed in these old rags. You shall not go to the ball.
Excuse me.
Why are you crying?
Who are you?
That's better. My fairy godmother.
This film was what you'd expect from a Cinderella movie. There was a lot of elegance in costume and set design, making it a beautiful movie to look at, though it had your typical cheesy declarations of love and sometimes awkward dialogue. The casting was well done with the inclusion of Cate Blanchett, Helena Bonham Carter, and Lily James from Downton Abbey. All in all, it was definitely a fun movie for the whole family.
Well, Cinderella is my favorite Disney movie, so I'm definitely excited to go see that. How
Yep,
about
leave
you?
it to Disney. They're sure to remake a good one. But coming up in 2 minutes, I'm sitting down with a man who has plenty of knowledge on corrupt Illinois. Dick Simpson joins us in studio next.
And it's another dreary start to your day today. Taking a look outside at the square right now, you can see that dense cloud cover sitting over the region. Temperatures right now are only in the upper 30s. Taking a look at your regional satellite radar composite, you can see the entire area is engulfed in this cloud cover. It'll continue through the day and into tonight. Looking ahead at some simulated radar reflectivity, we're looking at the chance for some more rain showers, possibly a thunderstorm as well. Full forecast in a couple minutes.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
I think News 3 is great. It's all one common goal. Everybody's trying to be #1. Last year we were #1 in the nation. We beat out Florida and Oklahoma. I get to work with so many professionals. It's a really great experience, and they're always there to help, and it's just all around fun. Jasmine Crichton really does make it a real life experience that most schools maybe not. They don't offer that.
When the big stories strike, count on award winners to provide you intimate and in-depth coverage. On the air and online. Local news, fresh perspective. Before the lights go on, dedication, teamwork, precision. Award-winning leadership brings you Macomb's only local TV newscast. On the air, live at 4. Friday mornings at 10, and online all the time. Our community, your community, News 3.
Seeing the train go, stand by 3 for the push in. Now from Macomb in high definition, you're watching Sinead Glasgow, Emily Manley, Storm Team 3's forecast with Nicholas Stewart, and sports with Tyler Eddy. Good Morning Macomb continues.
Corruption in Illinois, the state has seen many cases of dishonest politicians. And with the recent controversy surrounding Congressman Aaron Schock, the topic of corruption in politics seems particularly relevant. Joining me today is former Chicago alderman and author Dick Simpson. He's co-author of a book called Corrupt Illinois, which outlines a history of political corruption in the state. Now, before we begin, we were talking early, and you said something, there's a startling figure of about 1,900.
Well, the first thing to know is Chicago is the most corrupt city in the country, and Illinois is the third most corrupt state. We've had 1,913 public officials and their cronies convicted of corruption between 1976 and 2012. 2,000 people now, that's a lot, and we're one of the most corrupt states in the country.
And you know, you mentioned in your book, it's just a huge outline of all the corruption that's taken place over the years in Illinois. And when you were talking about it, now the most recent case is Aaron Schock.
Well, the book tries to go through the history, the causes, the patterns of corruption, and one of those patterns is congressional corruption. Aaron Schock isn't the first congressman to get into trouble over ethical violations. It happened as early as the beginning of the 20th century when William Lorimer bought his Senate seat by bribing the state legislature, and that's the reason we now have direct election of senators. He was kicked out of the Senate. In more recent times, we've had Jesse Jackson, who's going to be released tomorrow from prison. We've had Dan Rostenkowski. We've had Mel Reynolds. And these conflicts by Aaron Schock look a lot like all of their conflicts of interest.
And you referenced Jesse Jackson there, who, like you said, is being released from federal prison. He'll go to a halfway house next. And is that a typical kind of practice, do you believe?
That's the way it's done anymore with any criminal conviction. It doesn't matter whether you're convicted of shoplifting or murder or you're convicted of corruption. They try and reintroduce you to society after you've been away in prison, and that's what's happening for Jesse Jackson. And once he comes out of prison for a few months, his wife will go to prison. That was an unusual one, a husband and wife team, an alderman and a state and a congressional congressman who both went to jail, but they didn't send them both to jail at the same time because of the children involved.
Mm-hmm. And when you see cases, such as Aaron Schock, Jesse Jackson, Rod Blagojevich, so on and so forth, do you think there's a lot of things that sometimes are just never uncovered?
There are. There are, first of all, conflicts of interest which aren't crimes. And secondly, even in the ones that are crimes, there are probably 10 people who were guilty of the same thing who weren't caught because the level of federal prosecution is very high, and the state's attorney and the attorney general don't prosecute corruption well.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that, we're talking about some of the sentencing and things like that, and what do you, think of Rod Blagojevich's sentencing?
Well, most people think it was long, but the judge wanted to send a message, and that is corruption will no longer be tolerated in Illinois, that it is time for us to end the culture of corruption. It begins with machine politics, but it also begins with arrogance and hubris, which is, if he's not guilty of real corruption, certainly Aaron Schock is guilty of those moral sins.
And as you referenced the moral sins, do you think that there's going to be a full-blown investigation into Aaron Schock? Do you think he'll go to prison? I mean, is this another...
It's hard to tell what will happen. The FBI and the Justice Department have opened a full investigation. They have issued subpoenas in both Washington, D.C. and in Springfield. Undoubtedly, they'll be coming here to Peoria in the area of his district to talk to people. He did a number of things. First of all, he did, of course, the do-over of his office, which was a $40,000 gift. He took plane trips up to Chicago just to watch the Bears game. He took his entire staff to New York. But the more serious matters are that he misspoke or lied about the mileage he spent on his government-purchased car. And in addition, he got real estate deals that were not ones that you and I could get. He made hundreds of thousands of dollars on real estate transactions with his campaign contribution friends. And that's likely to be very difficult to explain to the federal government.
Mm-hmm. And do you think there's more corruption in Illinois just overall?
There is. Our neighboring states like Iowa or Wisconsin or Michigan or even Indiana, except for northern Illinois, northern Indiana up near Chicago, those states do not have anywhere near the corruption we have. We are unusual in the Midwest. We certainly are the most corrupt Midwest state in the nation. And it's something we need to change, and there are ways we can do it. There are 2 bills pending now in the state legislature to require civics to be taught in high school and for the civics teachers to be qualified. We need to go to public financing of campaigns. We need to elect better people to public office. We need to require more transparency and accountability. Those are things that citizens can actually require. We need a movement for the next decade to end corruption in Illinois. It will take that long.
And all outlined here in your book, Corrupt Illinois. Mr. Simpson, thank you so much again for joining us. And if you want to hear more from Mr. Simpson, you can head on over to Morgan 314. He'll be there in just a few hours, actually, and he will be outlining more of his book and with more details. Coming up next, Nick Stewart will be in the Storm Team 3 Weather Center with the 5-day forecast.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours.
Dr. King, what's your next move?
In March from Selma to Montgomery.
Selma is loud for every man, woman, and child.
We will not wait any longer.
In front of a crowd.
Mine eyes have seen the glory. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed all that.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
And good Wednesday morning, everybody. Taking a look outside right now, Macomb, we can see this dense cloud cover sitting over us. We're dealing with those remnants from the storm system that's off to our south, which will continue throughout the day today. Temperature-wise, we're only in the upper 30s at this hour, 37 cold degrees, well below our normal temperature, which should be in the mid-40s by this time. Temperatures across the region, you can see where the cold air is. Clipper system is sitting right about here, 36 degrees in the Quad Cities with 34 degrees in Des Moines. The further south you go, the warmer the temperatures get. That's where there's more moisture, more instability building for the threat for severe thunderstorms further to our south as we go into the day today. But right now you can see it's pretty quiet across the tri-state region. No rain or any type of shower activity showing up across the state of Missouri. That'll change later on tonight when the storm system intensifies once again for yet another round of thunderstorms. Whether or not those get real severe in our area determines on how north that front gets. But the forecasted right now, the front is sitting well off to our south. It's south of this front and along this front where the main thunderstorm activity will lie. That'll continue through the day today and into tonight as well. That's where the activity will really begin blossoming later this afternoon, basically from about 5 o'clock to about 10 o'clock this afternoon, looking at a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity blossoming to our south. But for us, we should stay mainly dry up until about 5 o'clock this afternoon. We'll see a few passing showers or two, nothing real major. Taking a look at the simulated radar reflectivity, thunderstorms explode off to our south. That's where the severe thunderstorms could remain. But for our neck of the woods, you can see this little band of showers kind of moving through later on this afternoon. Again, somewhere around 5 to 6 o'clock tonight. They'll persist through about 10 o'clock. We'll be dealing with some showers and perhaps a stray thunderstorm. Right now, the Storm Prediction Center does have a moderate risk for severe weather well off to our south. It's the first moderate risk of the year, but no severe weather in our neck of the woods, only a slight risk across southern Illinois into tonight. For tomorrow, the Clipper system will move fully. We're looking at a lot less shower and thunderstorm activity, and will begin to clear out. Temperatures will raise just a little bit. And we'll be dealing with mostly sunny skies finally, getting rid of some of that rain that we've had. But for today, we'll get up to about 52 degrees with rain very likely. Rain will move in later on this evening. For tonight, that rain will persist. We'll get down to about a chilly 34 degrees with that northerly wind blowing at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Taking a look at your 5-day forecast, temperatures don't improve very much as we go through time. There's going to be a cold weekend ahead with temperatures well below average, but as we head into the weekend, temperatures in the 60s on Sunday. So temperatures will warm up a little bit as we go to the weekend, but at least we begin to dry out as we head past today.
Boy, Nick, it has been up and down and up and down again.
It's the magical thing of Illinois weather. It's constantly a roller coaster.
It's always a few weeks of that, right? Marching like a lion, out like a lamb. So.
Eventually it'll converge and we'll start getting a nice weather pattern filling in place. So.
Okay, all right, Tyler's here next in sports.
Yeah, straight ahead in sports, the Western Illinois football team is off today, but the Leathernecks are already starting to get ready for the upcoming season. And the WIU baseball team is coming off a weekend homestand, and they'll take the field again this afternoon. Plus, the ladies in purple get ready for a weekend series against a conference rival that's had their number in the past. All that and more is next on Good Morning Macomb.
Today, 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic. That means many of the future doctors who will care for us, the engineers who will build our cities, the scientists and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why we want you to know you are not alone. And every day more people support you to make it happen. Many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education. HSF.net.
What did you want to be when you grew up? Now, how do you make it happen? Think purple, think success, think Western Illinois University.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Good morning, Western Illinois. Normally, spring signifies the beginning of baseball and softball season. However, Tuesday, the Leatherneck football team opened spring football practice bright and early at 7:45 a.m. Practices will run every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:45 a.m. and Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. A total of 15 practices will be held from March 24th up until April 23rd. And all those practices will lead up to the Bruce Craddock Memorial Spring Game at Hanson Field on April 24th. And Alfred D. Boyer Stadium will be busy this afternoon as the Western Illinois baseball team will be back in action in a midweek tilt against the University of Illinois Springfield. After a tough loss Sunday against South Dakota State, the Leathernecks will rely on freshman southpaw J.T. Backshaw on the mound. The start will be the first of Backshaw's career as the team heads into today's contest against UIS, boasting just a 4-14 record. You can bet head coach Ryan Brownlee will pencil in the Summit League Player of the Week, Chris Tashita, into the lineup, who leads the team in hits this season with 21. In the weekend series against SDSU, Tashita went 6 of 12 while batting in 3 runs. First pitch for the game is set for 3 p.m. And switching from the mound to the circle, the Western Illinois softball team is coming off an impressive 2-game split against Miami, Ohio. The Game 1 hero was senior Tegan Walsh, who pitched 4 innings in relief, allowing just 1 unearned run and punching out 1 while picking up the W. Naperville native Sammy Marshall went 2 for 4 while scoring 2 runs to help the team take a 5-4 victory over the Redhawks. Game 2 was a different story, however, as the Leathernecks were only able to score 1 run off the bat of outfielder Carissa Kuchis, who hit her 2nd home run of the season and 3rd of her career. Senior Kayla Kirkpatrick was tabbed with the loss after allowing 4 earned off 6 hits. The bright side, no walks for the WIU pitching staff, but they fall to the Redhawks 5-1. And the Leathernecks will hit the road this weekend for a 3-game conference matchup against IPFW. First pitch for the first game of that series is set for 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. And before Tiger Woods even dreamed of playing on the PGA Tour, one man, Jack Nicklaus, made the game of golf cool. The Golden Bear was honored by Congress yesterday by being named a recipient of the Congressional Gold Medal. House Speaker John Boehner, an avid golfer and fellow Ohio native, hosted the ceremony honoring Nicklaus on Capitol Hill. Other Congress members from Ohio were also on hand. The gold medal is the highest civilian award Congress can bestow. Nicklaus received a Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2005, and a very emotional Nicklaus gave his thoughts on what it means to receive the honor.
The last thing has nothing to do with the game of golf, but everything to do with why I'm standing here today. On the back of the gold medal, there are 6 stars. 5 of the stars represent my children. Then there's one larger singular star that represents my wife, Barbara.
Nicklaus is the 3rd golfer to receive the Congressional Gold Medal. The 2 before him were Byron Nelson and Arnold Palmer. So a pretty nice honor for a golfing legend.
What a great way to start the golf season.
That's right.
The Masters not too far down the road.
Yeah, right around the corner.
Yeah.
All right, up next we will have a final look at your weather.
We'll be right back after this.
American kids is Hispanic. That means many of the future doctors who will care for us, the engineers who will build our cities, the scientists and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why we want you to know you are not alone. And every day more people support you to make it happen. Many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education. HSF.net.
What did you want to be when you grew up? Now, how do you make it happen? Think purple, think success, think Western Illinois University.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Today we're going to get the chance of rain likely after about 5 o'clock today. Temperatures are only going up to about 52 degrees, the westerly wind blowing in at 10 miles per hour. For tonight, though, temperature's going to drop down even colder, down to 34 degrees with that rain likely. It's going to become some perhaps a stray shower and thunderstorm, especially later in tonight, until about 4 a.m. tonight. And looking at the 5-day forecast, the temperatures are definitely on the colder side of things. We're sitting just below normal for the next several days until we head into the weekend. Temperatures begin to rebound just a little bit for your day on Saturday. Temperatures increasing to the time into the 60s on Sunday. So warmer temperatures moving in this weekend. We're also going to begin to dry out.
I spent our Sunday getting ready for class in nice temperatures.
Yes, at least we got that.
Couldn't bring it in a little sooner? Nothing?
Not yet, no, unfortunately.
All right, well, Macomb, thanks for waking up with us. For Tyler Eddy, I'm Dave Mitchell.
And for Nicholas Stewart, I'm Sarah Despain. We'll stay on top of your news overnight and bring you the latest updates on our Facebook page and find us at News 3 WIU.
Have a good morning, Macomb.